Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Francesco Kirchhoff.
Wow. That made me sound like a secret weapon in World War II.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah,
it did.
Aggressive.
Isn't that what you are?
Kinda, yeah.
Aggressive. You've got rage.
Do I?
I think you have rage. Come on.
No, it's just stage persona.
It's all just stage persona.
This is my story and I'm sticking to it.
Do you have blowouts where you really lose your shit?
Wow, this is like how you start a podcast.
I don't know, man.
This is how you start? Or where is this gonna go? No, I am actually a pretty calm and stoic person.
Okay. Has that been something learned or has it always been the case?
I mean, I got bullied heavily in school, which led to fits of rage when I was a kid. But
because you talk about that on stage, you really were heavily bullied, huh?
yeah, super heavily. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, but you're such a sweetie. You're such
That's why I got bullied. Thank you, Anna. That's exactly why I got bullied. Because I was sweet and innocent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about
the
high
people
school?
on this podcast have no idea who the fuck this person is. It already must have such a weird idea.
No, just maybe
So
a
is he
little
full
bit.
of rage or is he sweet?
Is he-
What's
what-
the deal with this guy?
What's happening? Yeah, I think you're a sweetheart.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to be on this podcast.
Aw.
I'm so glad you finally ran out of other Berlin comics.
Dude, you were out of town the entire time.
I was.
You slinked off to Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, romance beckoned.
Yes, and also helping family, and
that's right.
and also fuck Berlin winter,
Yeah, I do like a Berlin winter though. I like feeling the
feeling
deep.
something.
Yeah, feeling just the emptiness and the fear. And
That sounds very well adjusted, Anna.
yeah, right. I like to look in the mirror, see all the pain.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but we've come out of lockdown. You're
so good.
It's so fucking good, right?
Oh my God.
You were so excited. You did my show Punch Up Comedy on Friday, and the energy was amazing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love being on stage, and after 7 months. I haven't done much with comedy in that time. I've started writing a new solo show and stuff, but it was very, sporadic. And just getting back on stage and just, comedy has this having the connection with the audience. I miss that.
Yeah,
I miss
man.
that so much. Even when they hate you, when you bomb hard,
Yeah.
at least you're in the moment with people instead
Yeah.
of shouting into a mic, staring at a screen,
Yeah.
and getting trolled on Facebook.
Yeah, right? Fuck social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god. So, in terms of adults only topics, I don't know. Did you have any? Have you listened to the podcast at all?
I did listen to a few minutes. I'm not a big podcast
Me
guy.
neither. There's no
Yeah.
judgment. I don't
Yeah.
expect anyone to be listening to it. Thank you, everyone who is listening to it.
Yeah, thank you, Moni.
Shout out to Drew Portnoy. I ran into him at a show recently, and he knew exactly what I'd been up to.
This is awesome. Yeah, I mean, adults only. I assume all the drug, sex, rock and roll bullshit that your comedy stands for, right?
All that bullshit that my comedy
okay.
stands for. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping that being on adults only, it would be now more accounting, and here's a sensible investing policy.
You know what? The last two episodes with Alex, we did our we went through all of the suicide options.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We talked about. I haven't gone into insurance or tax yet, but that's gonna come.
All right, this is Moni's mental health podcast in the mirror universe. It's
Oh.
you want to kill yourself? Fine. Here's 5 good options for you. Number 3 will surprise you.
Yeah, exactly. I actually caught up with my girlfriends, some girlfriends this week, and it was so funny looking back at what we were talking about. It was we talked about insurance policies, legit talked about the different types of insurance policies you need. We talked about all of the accidents, health problems we've had.
Right. Yeah. Tell me you're approaching 40 without telling me you're approaching 40, right? Kind of.
And then also talking about vaccinations, because one of the friends is pregnant, and so it was went deep into all of the corona stuff. It was just like, people may have this stereotype of girls talking, and it's like, dude, we're talking business, man. Like, we are serious adults.
Let's go to the toilet together and discuss AstraZeneca.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so do you have any adults only topics that sort of came to your mind once I asked you to be on?
Probably, I don't know. You want to probe, but in general, like you framed it as we're just gonna have a fun chat, which does sound like something the mafia tells you before they feed you to the fish. But I don't know. What are we talking? Like sex, drugs?
I like sex.
Depression. I don't know.
I think sex is better. Sex, like crazy sex stuff, or it doesn't have to be crazy, like awkward.
Well, everything is crazy to somebody, right?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Like you get like the Aussies who just have like disgusting, filthy stories, and then I don't know, like I can't recall. Oh, then like I had the episode with Ian and Bella, and I basically had to explain to him where the clitoris was.
Oh my. All right. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess that's something.
That's something, right?
Yeah.
Like not knowing anatomy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever had someone ask you something to do something in bed, and you've been like, no?
Oh yeah. Of course.
What?
I'm usually game to at least.
Yes, I'm usually gay.
I'm super gay. No, sadly not. I wish I was a bit more.
Yeah, right.
Flexible.
A bit more flexible.
Yeah, just like I'm sadly straight. Like,
yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah, which this sounds obnoxious to anybody who has been experiencing hate and so on.
Totally.
But in Berlin, regarding sexual options, in that very small sliver of life, it feels like it would be a great addition to my tastes.
It would, wouldn't it? It would.
Yeah.
It would just like sprinkle some flavor.
Yeah, but
diversity. But yeah, what have you said no to in the bedroom?
Getting my asshole tongued.
Oh yeah, you're not a fan of rimming.
Nah, I feel like I don't know how good it would feel, but I think that I would constantly think like, how pleasant is this for you actually, and just not be able to enjoy it in the moment.
Have you considered to like go and do a little bit of a wash?
I am pretty thorough in washing my absolutely
your butthole.
You know that Daniel Sloss bit about shaving your asshole and so on, like okay, like if you watch his Jigsaw special, which is great, recommended to everybody. But he's got like this extensive bit about shaving your asshole. Yeah. Which I also, practice and recommend to
practice.
everybody. Yeah.
So what are you doing shaving your asshole if you're not like using it? Like at what
Because men, Anna, tend to have hairy assholes.
Yeah. So do women.
Well,
Francesco.
yeah,
so do women.
That is correct.
Yes,
That is correct. You are correct, Anna Barros, as usual. But
I feel like you're backpedaling and you're not sure
but
what kind of corner you found yourself in.
Speaking of my experience as a man, I feel like, if you don't shave, it is, more hairy than it should be, and stuff gets caught and it never gets really clean. Right?
Stuff gets caught, huh?
Yeah. Stuff. And it should be more hygienic than that. So,
Look, I think you can. Like, okay, so I did the whole year where I didn't remove my body hair, right?
Yeah.
So
How did that go?
How did that go? Not a lot of sex.
But because of that? Nah.
Honestly, no, it wasn't just because of that. I also was sober. So you generally get less sex because of sobriety.
I mean, before anybody turns you off because of your body hair, I think your character would kick in way earlier, as people would be like, nah.
Exactly right. Exactly. But when I was dating with my fully hairy body, I had sex with a couple of guys, and vibes were good. But then after we'd had sex, they said, "I think you're great. I just want to be friends." And I was like, It's my hairy butthole, isn't it? Like it's my hairy vagina. Like it's the thing is, and I've now got a bit about it, which you've heard, but it's like I discovered that my pubes grow straight and they were very long, and well, no, like let's say like They got to maybe like 3 centimeters long.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it was a full, like, you know, you need to really part the curtains.
Like nice 70s.
It was.
Anna goes retro.
Yeah. And also with the armpits as well, and the leg hair. Like my leg hair is quite sparse because I've been removing it from the root. Like from the, you know, I haven't just been shaving it. I've been removing it from the root since I was 14. So my leg hair's quite sparse, but like the underarms were, you know, decently long, like a good, again, like 2.5 centimeters long. And I really do think like, you're talking about, you'd think that the personality would, you know, put the brakes on first, right?
Yeah.
But like, I did, because the vibes were so good with these people, for them to turn around after fucking me to say, I just want to be friends. It was like, it can't be my personality.
No.
It's got to be my hairy vag. Which was very sad.
You've been rejected because of your hairy vagina.
I think I've been rejected because of my hairy vagina.
But did they give you like weird like reactions when they noticed?
No. One of them absolutely knew about it before stepping into it. The second one was right before I took my pants off. I was like, hey, you say you're quite left. I just
prove it. Prove it, bitch boy. Get down there.
Get down there and fucking
get down there. It's for the revolution.
It's for the revolution.
Exactly.
And so before I took my pants off, I said, look, I've gotten political over the lockdown. I haven't removed any of my body hair. So just so you know. And he was like, okay.
All right. Yeah.
And then we continued to, like, you know, kiss and fool around, and he didn't do any oral, but he was like happy using his hands, and but he didn't want to have sex.
Yeah,
and
but
I was
that's already like to me that's a red flag if they don't want to give you oral.
Yeah. Firstly, no oral. Second, he didn't want to like actually fuck. So it was like, okay.
That seems like quite extensive feedback, actually.
Yeah. He wasn't down.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, but the guy before that, who I think knew about it before he stepped in, he did everything. And I think actually it was extenuating circumstances why that didn't. I think like there was something going on in his life that he was like, he put the brakes on for other reasons.
Look, I've got things to work through, and then have a hairy vagina on top is just too much to handle, Anna.
Really, maybe. And there was another guy, but I think that was just chemistry, and I didn't put that down to my hair.
Yeah.
And I ran into him recently, and he was like, oh, yeah. Like, I was actually seeing someone else, and then that got serious, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I wasn't into you either.
Sounds a very mature discussion.
I didn't say that to him when we met on, but I was like, yeah, no, dude, like I was somewhere else. Actually, I was more into the guy that then rejected me for the, I think, extenuating circumstances. So
I'll admit, I think I'm starting to like lose the thread here.
There's a lot there. Have you?
Long story short, a lot of men have rejected you in your working theory. It's because of hairy vagina.
Okay. Yeah, that's it, really.
Yeah. Okay. That's sad in the 21st century.
It is a bit sad. I do prefer then when I trimmed. I do really like it being trimmed now. Like it's just I like it. I do like it. And yes, the thing is, it's not the same as armpit hair and leg hair, which are very much these political things for women, and it's double standards. And I don't think there's anything wrong with these parts of the body, but it is just easier to exist in the world without being judged for your body hair, like your leg hair and your armpit hair. But I think pubic region, it's kind of just like a convenience thing, and like everyone trims these days. You know?
I think it's more static on whatever gender, personal preference. But like if you have other opinions about your body, it's like I'm not gonna be like, oh, deal breaker.
Okay, so have you had a full bush before?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Yeah. And are you talking about my bush or?
No, I meant like eating someone's full bush.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know, because so many people remove it and so many people maintain it. So it's like it's not always common that people have had an experience with it.
I meet a lot of left-wing people here.
It's true, actually. It is true. But you don't strike me necessarily as the type to have fucked a bunch of like little hippies.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, sometimes it's surprising, but no, absolutely, yeah.
All right. So you don't like grooming?
You know what I find more interesting is like, is a man going down on you, or like any gender that you interact with sexually, going down on you while you have your period.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Have you done that?
Yeah, I absolutely don't have issues with it.
Yeah.
And actually, what happens more often than not is that the woman is like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely. And even for sex, a lot of women are like, oh, I just don't feel good.
which is odd because you tend to be more horny.
Totally.
Exactly.
I always
It's
end up
super-
fucking people pretty much. Like the first time I fuck people, I'm just coming off my period. That's it. You're dripping.
Well, I'm dripping.
Yeah,
Much, yeah.
do you want a tissue?
We're talking about coffee.
We're talking about coffee here. Let me just give you a tissue. There you
Aw.
go. You can clean
So
yourself up there.
I see you've done this before.
I do have tissues at the ready.
Yeah. That was
Life.
a pro move. It's like she did it with one hand. And
Life gets messy.
exactly.
You need a tempo, as
Yeah.
the Germans would call them.
Mhm.
Okay, so no rimming, but you're down for eating bleeding pussy.
It's not a fetish. But like if it happens to be that time of the month, yeah.
Then it's fine, right? Like it's messy for sure. I think like it depends on how deep into the period they are, like how heavy the flow is. But
Yeah, and you know, frankly, I would expect any partner to first wash up
yeah, exactly.
in any circumstances, right? So you know.
Yeah, a little bit of washing is good. I have had the experience. I've probably talked about it before of having boyfriends. When I'm on my period, pull out my tampon. I don't use tampons anymore, but pull out my tampon with their teeth.
Oh. Okay. I mean, is that hot to you? Or
It was surprising.
That is a very diplomatic answer.
I was like, I can do that. And they were like, no. Yoink. And there's like a dog that's just found like a rat, like this thing swaying on their chin.
Oh my god.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute. But yeah, I don't know.
But I like that they framed it as, I know how to do it. Like they practiced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was pride in their eyes as they came back
Yeah.
up with their little.
I mean, because I guess the first time you do it, like it's probably a bit difficult and awkward, and like they were probably like, no, give me a second, I'm trying to really learn a craft here. I want to perfect this for you and all the
Just getting the
future.
angle right, and getting it in between the right teeth. You don't want to get it too far deep back. I don't know, man. That's
Interesting, yeah.
It is
and that
interesting.
happened more than once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but now I use a menstrual cup, so it's like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
yeah, I don't want anyone pulling that out with their teeth. It's just like how to create a bloodbath. Like that's a terrible idea. No, wait, I've got this. No, you don't.
Oh, yeah. Let's turn this from a porn to a horror movie.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I do like the menstrual cup a lot.
What do you like about it?
That I'm not creating any waste.
Yeah. Okay.
That I can see what I'm producing, and it's not just like rubbish in my vagina.
A tampon is just rubbish in your vagina, which is a very that is an astute observation. Yeah.
Yeah, like you put it in there, it's all right, and then you pull it out, and you're like, ew, like, it looks horrible. Like, yes, it's just blood, but it's like it is a piece of trash. Like that's what you do with it. It's not like
exactly.
you
Do you know? Have you seen Michelle Wolf's special on Netflix, joke show? Or what it's
I've watched part maybe 3/4 of one of her specials.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
I
not
like. Come on, it's. I
Is she
think
not
she's
your
a great writer, but she's not my favorite performer.
Why?
I don't
The
find
voice?
her. Look, the voice is an aspect for sure, and then just her character.
I think she's great. I don't know. I'm a big fan. But
She's just not endearing to me. I don't relate to her so much. Aside from the fact that she's a woman in entertainment, I think she says some really good stuff, but I don't like her. And comedy's a lot of this personality kind of cult thing. You got to like the person.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. If people don't like you, they won't laugh at your jokes. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I lost audiences early on by them not liking me.
Aww. I I was gonna throw a roast in there about that because
That
we've
is still
roasted
the
each
case. Yeah, it's still the case. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
No, but it's so much about personality. But what's her joke, or what does Michelle Wolf talk about?
No, she discusses what it would be like if men had their periods and how it would be marketed.
I
and,
love that bit. I
that's a
love
great
that bit. Yeah.
and
I
That
think
just came
that's
to mind. You know, like,
it's spot on. It's just like
and you know, hey buddy, have you changed your tampon? It's like, I know it's so sensitive here, but I've turned it around and back up.
oh man, men would be nightmares if they bled.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, they're nightmares as is.
Yeah,
but
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wouldn't add.
But there's a different level of responsibility. I think that's part of the reason, like, they talk about maturity of women being, it develops faster than men's, because I think there is a certain, if you're bleeding, like, you have to deal with that. And so there's a certain level of awareness you need and responsibility you need to take for your body. Well, also because you can get pregnant, right? But like, I think it's purely the body thing that dictates why a woman is usually a little bit more responsible.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So then anal's off the cards for you.
Oh,
if
no,
you're not,
no.
no.
That's
You're into
fine.
anal, but like not you being penetrated. That's the thing.
No, I haven't tried it.
No one's like just like without
Tried to peg me.
non-consensually
No,
like
non-consensually.
popped a finger in there.
Nah, not since church. Easy joke. No.
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 No. Okay. Nice. You're a relationships man.
What?
Aren't you a
Is
relationships
that-
man?
I would like to be, I guess. But no, I had like 2 relationships when I was a teenager. First, she broke my heart, and the second one, I broke her heart. And then exactly. And then I moved to Berlin, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in this kind of situation where you can hurt somebody so much or get hurt so much. And started, living the single lifestyle that Berlin affords, and just
Or
did
only
that so
allows-
long.
yeah.
Did that so long that at some point I had doubts whether I could be in a relationship because I had no empirical proof.
Yeah.
And then I started being like more open to the idea, and I think over the past years, definitely had longer term relationships and been great, but it's still I wouldn't call myself a relationship man.
Okay. I have it in my head because I've only really known you when you've always had, from when I first met you to, and even like you going to Italy, like I suppose it's only 2 really relationships. But it was a long one there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I was there's this thing about Berlin, man. Like, I've written this song and
You've written a song?
yeah, I've got. I can play it to you afterwards if you want.
Yeah,
It's
please.
been the week where I've been showing people my music. My band is called Death.Porn. Naturally.
Of course.
Yeah. My bandmate is Shani Moffat's husband, Toby.
Awesome.
Yeah. So like 2 Australians, and I'm on the drums, and he's on the guitar, and we both sing.
Oh,
and-
it's like white
stripes
kind of setup.
Yeah, exactly. And
White Stripes singing about tampons being junk in your vagina.
rubbish. Yes,
Rubbish. Yes.
junk is almost too sexy.
Yeah, true.
Get that junk up in here.
Get rid of the rubbish. Get in the junk.
Get in the junk. Exactly. Yeah, that's what you do before you have sex when you're on your period. And so the main lyric the starting lyric of the song is saying, I think they say Berlin is lovesick, and that it's impossible to have a good partnership, and that the earth and the air makes love cruel and unfair.
Wow.
Yeah, and
God, you're such an emo.
I know, mate. I'll show you. That said, the music isn't emo, but the words for sure. And I really like, when I arrived in Berlin, I was like, nah, man, this reputation that Berlin is like so anti-relationship didn't fit me, because I was seeing someone when I first arrived, and then I was like, oh, you're like not a good idea for me. You remind me way too much of my ex-husband. And then I ended up with a guy for like 2 years. Like, yes, it was complicated and on and off at some points, but it was like I was in a relationship for 2 years and then went straight into another little thing. And then it was like, and then I was fucking around the comedy scene a bit too much. And then but yeah, it was like for the first...
We've all been there.
Yeah, right. But for the first 3 years, I was pretty much in relationships. So this stereotype of Berlin being like single city. didn't fit.
I just think that relationships are just way less appealing than they are portrayed. And once you have the option to not forcefully be in a relationship, you try it out for a while.
But but there's a culture here, right? Like in Australia, for example, everyone just always ends up having a partner. It's just like it's part of the it's just this deep social expectation. There's not so many people who are just playing the field. Like people play the field for a bit, but then they get into a relationship, and that was always the case for me in Australia as well.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe people are just rubbish.
People are what? Rubbish.
Are rubbish, and you don't want to be in a relationship.
Yeah, there's also that. Like, there's the quality of people in Berlin, and then the whole theory for me is that people in Berlin have come here to escape and heal, or both. And
do you and heal?
Yeah, do you and heal. That's the tagline for 2021. Do you and heal? Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Like it's better than be somebody you're not and perpetuate the trauma. I feel like that is do you and heal seems like a much better tagline and tactic.
Yeah. How do you want to heal?
By confronting stuff. Like my last attempt at a relationship also like brought up a lot of fears from the past that I thought I had processed or that I wasn't aware of, which surprised me. And basically gave me a roadmap for stuff to work on for probably at least 2 years. Yeah.
Like
realistically speaking, yeah.
That's amazing.
Family stuff or relationship with money or, things like that.
Yeah, it's so interesting though, because you can get the roadmap, but then like you can think you're doing the work, but it's not until you're in a relationship dynamic again that those things are triggered again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've just sort of seen someone very new, like, seeing this person, and there's been a few little things that have popped up for me that like haven't been problems, but I've just seen myself react to certain things. Like, like I am mildly OCD. Like you're in my room right now. It's not like a fucking psychopath's room. It's a bit chaotic for sure.
Yeah,
but it's got order. But I am sort of it's a new life for me. But basically, like in terms of like keeping stuff clean or whatever, there was a moment we were at the lake and it was just like fucking dirt everywhere, man. Like every time I turn around, there was like more dirt on the towel. I was like, and I just like brushing it off. I'm like, is this like, am I really gonna get affected by this? Like, am I that little person, that petty person? Is that gonna be, something? And or like those little triggers, like he said something like wow, you can, like after a show one night we met up and he was like, wow, you can really talk, and I was like, ooh.
Is he saying I'm talking too much?
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, I'm a comedian. I just came from a show. I'm telling you about my day. What, do you want to like talk to me about what things you want to buy? Like, you want to talk about like what new ring you want to get, or you want to show me some shit that you want to order online? Like, I don't care about shopping. I'm telling you about my day. That's got substance. What you were filling the air with before was nothing. And I was like, wow, Anna, stop roasting him. Like, you need to back down. Yeah.
It is an issue, I find, dating people that don't have like extended storytelling skills or just sense of humor that is very pronounced. It's impossible, really.
Yeah, I can't. Like, this guy's really funny and he's good at stories and he's funny. But then he'll like sometimes
but he's not your level, of course.
He's not what?
He's not at your level.
Well,
I mean, who is?
You took the words from my mouth. But no, but like he's very entertaining. He's like he's good chat, but then he can sometimes just be talking, and I'm like, stop.
Yeah. He doesn't read the room.
He doesn't read the room. Exactly.
He doesn't realize he's bombing in front of his girlfriend.
Right.
Nice.
But that thing of like, when people telling stories who are,
oh my god, yeah.
I feel like you've got some.
No, the thing is, like, even if your partner maybe is cool that way, guaranteed their friends probably aren't all, and difficult sometimes.
Oh man, friends, yeah, partners, friends are,
and particularly being a white man. I don't want to be too controlling of the discussion, and it is a calvary.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I think sometimes that's where drugs come into it. It's like, well, then I can just go into my head and not have to deal with it.
Well, that doesn't work with every social situation, Anna. I mean, it probably does, but
Yeah, no.
But
But
don't want to
it's
be that person.
no. But just more in like really social settings. Like I think that's often why we drink or we do whatever, because that can be a nice. It allows you to just filter out what's boring.
Yeah, I
bit
mean,
more.
the only way to cope with it that I found is just developing better questions.
Yeah,
so
totally.
that you help them tell the story in an interesting way, right?
That's so sweet.
Right?
It's adorable.
I don't know. If you tell me a boring story, I will try to find like what probably makes it interesting. Try to nudge you towards it.
Yeah. So what were you
I'm
wearing?
such a patronizing piece of shit.
But it's true, man. Like that's
Yeah.
exactly like if you do comedy, then you know how to ask questions. Like if you can do crowd work, you can make any conversation interesting just by leading it.
Yeah. Although surprisingly, most people think crowd work is asking, so where are you from? What do you do?
Yeah.
Which is like the last thing
Well, it is.
that
It
makes
is.
crowd work interesting.
Yeah. I do that. Come
I'm
on.
not roasting any. Yeah. I mean, I've done extensive crowd work shows with Ori, and some of them were some of my best shows in my life. Others were, admittedly, the worst. Right? There's range because
Yeah.
it's crowd work, it's improvised, but like when you manage to get deep in crowd work, that's fucking gold can strike.
Yeah. When you can ask really probing questions on interesting topics and see people
Instead of just roasting some poor dude called Elvis. You know?
Yeah, right. Oh, Elvis.
Man, he was great.
He was great. We had this we had this guy in the audience on Friday.
Shout out to Elvis.
Shout out to Elvis, man. This
He was
German
such a great
kid.
sport,
Yeah, he was like what 20 or something.
Yeah.
Rides a motorbike. It was 27 degrees and he was still wearing the leather jacket. Amazing.
Yeah.
When he arrived, at least. And then he had like this shirt with oranges on it, and he sat in the front row, like just so confident, like so comfortable, but like
I
not
liked him a lot.
not
yeah.
douchey in any way.
No, we were douches. like
We-
all of us
we were.
were being big douchebags.
Yeah, well, it was a heckler's show. Like,
Yeah.
it was, douche prime time.
Yeah, still, it's a 20-year-old that is that, you're called Elvis.
Oh, amazing.
It's too easy.
He was, sweet guy.
Super sweet.
Calling what brings you to call your child Elvis? Like, it's a big call, like
It's
German
pretty
family.
straightforward, Anna. They're just big fans of the king of rock and roll. That's how that happens. How did you get to name your daughter Leah? Well, guess what?
Well, I guess you're, big fans of Star
they're
Wars.
into Star Trek. No.
Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, for sure. It's Harry Potter. You want kids, right? Or no, you don't?
I mean, the thing is, okay, no, I
This looks like I've triggered something.
no, I think I want kids, particularly because when you think about it, I'm like 35 and I will probably live until 90 at least. And,
Wow, you're going to live till 90, you think?
everybody in my family died after 90. So I would be surprised if I'm the first not to make it despite all the medicine advancements. Might be. I mean, my lifestyle is not ideal.
It's not that bad. You're pretty healthy.
Right.
Friday accepted.
Yeah. No. Yeah, exactly. No, but that's what I like in life, right? Like
Yeah.
I like having stable, healthy habits most of the time, and then the occasional excess. Because,
Exactly.
Work-life balance and whatever balance is, to me, is like long-term balance.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, every single day I meditated and I did something social. No, fuck you. Like I want like a few days of complete loneliness and then like 3 days of extreme social time. I want, alcohol in quantities that probably should have left me dead, and other times where I'm sober for months. Both. I want the entire range of life.
Yeah.
That way, I don't trust people who don't trust themselves to experience either.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, if you cannot cope with life without drugs, or anything extreme, you are boring to me. And if you, and same for the opposite.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So you think with your lifestyle, what you don't
But I will
probably get
probably pretty old. I mean,
Yeah.
reasonably speaking, I'm in the West. My family history is pretty good.
yeah.
And to think that I would go into old age without having, kids that come visit later, I don't know, seems, I probably would want that. And I think, and I've had this fucked up realization late in my 20s where I realized, oh, fuck, a lot of the things that I am working about myself, can kind of be summed up as I want to be the kind of person who would be a great dad.
Yeah.
Right? Not make the mistakes my father did. Maybe replicate some of the good things he did. Same for what I learned from my mom. And just general, I think you need to be a great person first before you can be a great parent.
Yes.
And so I had this epiphany at some point. I was like, fucking hormones.
Right? Oh my
Yeah.
God. It would be so much easier if we didn't have that human drive to procreate. Like it would, well, for women, it would be a lot easier.
For everybody, I think. Yeah.
Everybody, yeah. Although, yeah.
We wouldn't have to deal with the climate crisis anymore because this, we're not ruining the future of our children. There's no children. Fuck them.
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking steak every night.
Exactly.
And flights everywhere.
Yeah.
Burn everything.
just burn everything.
Just burn
Fuck this
everything.
planet. Yeah.
Kids,
But
huh?
yeah, so I think I want kids, and I want to be the kind of person who would be a good father. But the desire is not like guiding my actions a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like there's people who are clearly like trying to find somebody so they can establish a family, and I would rather like if I don't find anybody awesome to live with, first and foremost, like having kids is out of the window, right?
Yeah, I'm in exactly the same boat there.
Yeah.
Like it's about creating. If you're gonna have a kid, you want to do a good job, and you want to have two parents to look after that kid that are really ready for the task and robust, strong, considered, and
the kind of person that can, even if you split as a couple, you will still be great parents and can collaborate and
exactly. But I'm getting to the point where I'm like, look, I've got a window of, let's say 5 years max till I'm like 39.
I mean, you could freeze your eggs. Right?
I could. I haven't looked into it yet. I've heard someone recently did that. I met someone in Barcelona that had done it, and I think it's like it's pretty expensive. It's like around the $3,000 to $4,000 mark.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's an interesting concept though. Like it changes things. But then like
I wonder what it does, like that kind of feeling, that kind of pressure of that window closing, whether that like you can rationally supersede it by knowing that, no, rationally like I got more time, or like you feel the hormones changing and stuff.
But I wonder how much, the eggs, the number of eggs diminish, right? But I also wonder as the eggs diminish, surely also your body's ability to carry the baby and support that whole process also diminishes. So like
but
saving these eggs and like inserting them later, it's like it's such a
could be carried out by another woman as well. That's
well, there's that as well.
But now we go full dystopia kind of.
Yeah. Well, I'm down. Like I think that's really interesting. Someone else carrying it for you, because there's a great comedian, Michelle Buteau. She's got a special on Netflix. Great. And she did that. She did just that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had a baby and wasn't pregnant for a second. Amazing.
I just realized that I said that that entire process would be like a dystopia, which makes it sound like it's bad. But I realized for some people it's the only way to have a kid, and it's fantastic they've got that option. But,
very nice, Francesco.
For like rich or, wealthy enough people that just don't want the burden on that would be kind of fucked up.
Yeah, sure.
My mom got me with 40, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I turned, maybe not the best example, but it can be.
Oh, you're a great example of a human specimen.
Aw.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, and it's great hearing that. Like I meet more and more people who had kids at 40, but some people just
There's been a lot of propaganda, I think, in like the second half of the 20th century about the risks around it.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Like my sister-in-law, when she had her third child, just I think 2.5 years ago, she's 35 or 34. She's actually, I think, 1 year younger than me. And so she was 33. And at 33 in the hospital, she was categorized as a what was the term? It was like extra mature. Or like, old, like that was her categorization.
The
and
scientific
and high risk as well at 33, high risk.
Wow.
And it's like, dude, 33, fuck off. Like, how old do you think we're having babies? Like, adjust that shit, because that's gonna mess up with your psychology and your sense of like health and wellness whilst you're pregnant. If you're being talked about like you're,
Yeah, I mean, and the mental aspects of carrying a child to term is like already such a big part, and you're making it even worse.
Worse. It's like, what do you... adjust the scale, guys. Adjust the scale. No one's having babies at 21. That's a problem if people are having babies at 21,
Yeah.
My God, that's high risk. Socially. Jesus Christ. You do not want to be doing that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I would love to be like, should I get kids at some point? I would have liked to be like the young dad that runs with you and like picks you up and something. Probably I will be, like graying and decaying by the time I've got children.
And also running after your child whilst you're like, smoking a pack of cigs and like with a 6-pack of beers in the other hand because you're going to a concert later because you're 22, you've got life to live. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. I don't know how people do it, but it's easy to judge when you get just like different drives. So like to me, like I cannot imagine, like even at my age, I feel like I would be feeling like I'm missing out on a lot. And that I should rather do it later. But
yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. Like, there's no way that I am open to being like that. I would like if I fall, and using that verb very clearly, if I fall pregnant in the next 3 years, it's going to be a bit of a bummer to my planned career trajectory. Yeah. I want to give my all to comedy until I get some kind of solid stability,
you could pull an Ali Wong, maybe.
Well, yeah, but like I need to get that kind of financial stability within comedy before I'll do it. And so I'm giving it 3 years. And if I don't have like some like writing job, or if I haven't like broken through where I'm like doing like something has changed, or I have like a solid touring route and it's like I'm making money like consistently from comedy and it's stable.
Yeah.
And I want to give it 3 years to do that. And if I get pregnant in the next 3 years, that's gonna make it way harder.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I just remembered discussing Ali Wong with another comic who shall remain unnamed, and the description came up of like, okay, you have one special when you're pregnant, which is groundbreaking. Then you've got a second one. At that point, you're just a prop comic.
Yeah, nice. But she's so great, she's
fantastic. She's flawless.
Oh, see, it's so nice talking to a man. A lot of guys don't.
Her delivery is perfect.
Her delivery is perfect. She is such a. She is so the energy,
every
the timing
second is intentional. You can tell like nothing is out of place. That's perfect.
It's perfect.
Together. If you don't like the writing or something, maybe, but like as a comic, you have to see that and appreciate just like how fucking flawless it is.
Yeah, she was the first she was the first special that I saw. It was the second one that I saw, and it was just like, she blew my mind. It was like this is what as a female to aspire to, because she's also pushing, the agenda is like, dude, this is what it's like to be a woman. Yeah. Like, listen up. This is the reality. And that's she does it so perfectly. But yeah, prop comedy, huh? But she did so well with her first Netflix special didn't do as well as her second, but she was writing on TV shows, and
fresh off the boat and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I had a few more years to get my claws into some more beefy, sustainable comedy.
Well, I mean, after this
opportunities.
podcast episode, it's gonna blow up.
Gonna blow up, Francesco.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, it's gonna go nuts. Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad that you have to like calculate that as part of the entire thing. Yeah,
it's a bit, but it's only because I want to have kids. The other thing that I think should be just easy and not everywhere, like a corona test center, but like, because there are corona test centers on every corner at the moment in Berlin. It's amazing and easy, but I would like to be able to get my fertility. What was that?
And a scam.
Yeah, totally. But fertility testing, like to know if you can even Like, even
Right.
if you are fertile, like, there's, if I wasn't fertile enough to have babies, then I wouldn't be thinking about it. I could just
Right.
clear it off the whole brain schedule. That would be handy.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but
I mean, at least you know what you want to do, right? Like that
Yeah.
you want to be a comic, and
Yeah.
that's your professional path forward. Like I'm still like between these two worlds of like my professional career as product manager, and doing stand up. And as much as I love stand up, like if I decide to pursue it, it would be such a hard hit financially.
yeah, no,
That it's like,
and that's the
am I gonna
thing.
do it? No.
I am very privileged, and so I've
Well,
I've worked.
no, like I mean, yes, of course, in some ways, but it also like you made a conscious decision.
Yeah.
And
Well, I moved to Berlin to focus on creative output, whatever that was. I thought it was going to be music. It's becoming a bit of music, which is great, but it's turned into comedy. And like I did qualifications so that I could teach English, and so that was something that was like more part time. And yeah, I basically structured my life so that I could work less and have more time for creative stuff.
yeah, it
And
makes a lot of sense.
yeah, and that's where it's going. That's where it's going. Let's see where it
Yeah.
goes. Now, any
Right.
tidbits? Any?
We are so close to making this podcast about accounting. My prediction from the beginning of the podcast episode.
I did do bookkeeping for a while.
Oh, okay. No.
And that
I
business
didn't
went
want to push
bankrupt. Oh
Yeah.
no! All right, we've got a couple more minutes. So, is
Yeah.
there any other juicy topics? Any questions you have for me?
I feel like you tell so much about yourself and your sex life and so on in your stand-up that I feel I have no questions left.
You know everything, actually.
Is there something I would be surprised by?
You haven't listened to this podcast, which is good, but I think all the craziest shit I've ever done, I've pretty much said on this podcast.
Okay, yeah.
What's the craziest shit you've ever done?
Ooh, good question.
That's a hard one to answer, right?
I mean, just because like there's different options and like what are the criteria?
Yeah. Give us a
Like-
spread.
I don't know, like one big orgy.
Yeah, you did an orgy?
Yeah.
Ooh, was it like organized or like?
It was very spontaneous.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
How many
it was-
people?
Oof, I want to say 12 or so.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
exciting. Oh, spontaneous orgies, they are
Yeah,
the best.
Yeah, and by the way, much better than threesomes.
Yes, dude.
Threesomes are so high maintenance.
Oh my god, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't like when people gush about threesomes. I feel like it's a good sign they've never had one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in theory, it's much better than the reality. Like,
Yeah.
if you find some people where the chemistry is great and so, and people can take some time off and so,
Yeah.
it's great. But like, if you're in a situation where you're trying to satisfy two people at the same time, and like
And you're the middleman or middle
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
literally,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah, that's stressful.
I have had good threesomes, but then there's a lot of they were with people that I really love, and that like it just becomes it became kind of more emotionally complicated after the fact. But the
Right,
threesomes were
yeah.
very good. But then I also had threesomes where it was just like uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, depends probably on the setup. Like,
Yeah.
are the other two also into each other or not?
Yeah.
Or are you like the only one that is supposed to like satisfy both of them?
Jeez, so you've been in that situation where you
Yes,
have to
more than
satisfy-
once. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like I am a giver in that way where I'm kind of focused on making sure the other person really enjoys themselves, and which is kind of fucked up because like it's almost anti-feminist thinking where I think that if I make a woman come, that makes me a better man, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of gross and unsettling, but
Very
also
self-aware.
yeah,
But it's also that thing of like you thinking you have the responsibility, and
but
it's
also
like,
I enjoy it, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
But then if you've got like two people at the same time, it's like either you're doing a mediocre job with both, or like you're focusing on one, and you notice like the other one like kind of being like on the sidelines and not very happy about the situation, and that's I don't know, like that's just the logistics of it, not my favorite.
I just had this image of her like being on her phone as you like like the third one just being on her
man.
phone as you're
That's
satisfying
one of the worst things that I have ever done, just like being on the phone while
while having sex.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
For work?
What, for work?
Like, were you on your phone for work purposes? I just
No.
assume you were being responsible.
No, I was swiping on Tinder to find the next one.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
That's great though.
No, but I don't know, like crazy stuff. Bigger orgy, I guess. What else?
12 people.
Yeah, it was fun.
A bunch of couples, and then like
Mostly
singles.
couples, and then like people that they were all kind of friends.
Mm-hmm. Was this in Berlin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where
Where
else?
else would that magic
I don't know.
happen?
Not Edinburgh. I don't know. Maybe could have.
No. But no, what else? I don't know. I think one of the things that I regret was like, I don't know if you've got this thing that like after breakup or so, like you go on a fuck spree and just, like way overdo it. Mm-hmm. And like, I remember this one time I was visiting the city and, I'd broken up, or had gotten broken up by a woman that had meant a lot to me. And, somehow I see on Facebook that a ex-colleague of mine is in town, and he's like, "Hey, come by, hang out. I'm here with two friends of mine." And it was like two, both very attractive women. And so we met on 2 nights, and I ended up having sex with both of them, like on different nights.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it's one thing, like, something happens after the first night, but then like during the second night he was like, "Hey, it seems like you and so really got along, wink wink." It's like and then when the other one went to the bathroom, he was like, "Please don't do anything with her, like her boyfriend would fucking kill you." And I couldn't help myself.
You bad boy.
I've had my moments.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I don't know, like, I think your perception of what you should be doing just because you can kind of thing shifts over time when you realize, okay, even if everything is consensual, or, like, we are all adults and blah, like, maybe you don't want to initiate that kind of thing where the emotional repercussions or just like the complications seem not worth it.
Yeah, totally. Like, just you saying like going on a fuck spree after a breakup, it's like, it's been a while since I feel like I've really done that. I feel like with Corona and lockdowns, but 2019 was definitely a fuck spree for sure. Yeah. But
I mean, like, I'm right now in a situation where past me would do that, and I'm really trying to control that urge.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's
the summer of 2021. Who knows what options are coming?
I think I'm actually, I'm getting older, and I think I just want to find somebody that is cool that I can build a relationship with longer term.
Yeah.
Or maybe just have a great fuck song. Who knows?
Yeah.
Both are options, but
honestly, though, sex is so much better with someone you respect, and I can't fuck people I don't respect anymore. Like, I can't, like, I say that. Like,
wow.
I fucked
wow.
people I don't respect. But I mean, like, more like,
that was more telling about you, Anna. Than Jesus Christ.
Well, without alcohol, it becomes but I do drink now on the weekends, so it's a bit different. But it's more like...
But that's a good rule. Don't fuck people you wouldn't fuck sober.
Exactly.
I feel like that's a very good rule.
I think it's a really good rule. And it's not that I used to fuck people that I didn't respect, but it was more like I would fuck people without getting to know them at all. And as I've matured, I want to do the responsible thing and check in on who this person is before I'm having sex with them. Because I've found myself in scenarios where it's like, this person is a nightmare, or, this person is like an absolute racist, sexist asshole. Like, why have I allowed them into my temple?
Yeah, or 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 maybe you can fuck them up. Like
there's also
like for instance, last year I had this situation where I had been in a relationship for a longer time, so I had kind of lost that skill of like being very explicit in communicating your expectations of where things are, or whether you're also seeing other people and so on. And I hadn't been transparent as I should have been with a person that then when she found out felt really hurt. right? And I didn't feel like I wasn't hiding it, but I hadn't made it explicit.
Yeah.
And like those kinds of things all really need to play a part in it, right?
Totally. I just that responsibility. Also, exactly. It goes on to how you're going to affect this person, and like maybe they're an emotional mess, and maybe that's a reason. Like you might be attracted to them into it, but like you don't see any future. However, they are vulnerable. Yeah, no, don't go there. Why would you create that swell of emotional distress? Like
You do you and heal.
You do you and heal. Yeah.
2021.
2021. All right, Francesco, plug something. You want to plug your Facebook page or Instagram? Or
I mean, if you are able to spell my name correctly, you can find me on Facebook. I've got a Facebook page, which these days are kind of useless because Facebook broke everything, but that's where you can find me. Else,
didn't they? They broke everything.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's...
Like we didn't
time
like
to build
it.
websites and newsletters and stuff.
Yeah, I need to build a website actually. I think that's the next thing.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook, and like I'm a more or less welcome staple of the Berlin scene, so you will find me on a lot of shows here. And next year in Edinburgh Fringe, I will bring a solo show.
Yeah,
exactly.
Edinburgh. Yeah, I'm excited for Edinburgh next year. I want to do that.
It's the best feeling in the world. I've never been as happy in the past years as I was in Edinburgh, which is weird because so many people get depressed.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
You just need to go with people that you really like. I was there with Ori and Sean in the first year, and with Ori and Anthony in the second year, doing a show together, and, like the camaraderie and just like the spirit that you have. Like if you think, oh, I'm bringing my solo show, and you're alone, and like you get 2 people tops per show for like a month, it gets draining.
Yeah. No, you need a crew, I think. Being in Barcelona with Dragos and Shahak, a weird crew. Love those guys.
It's comics.
No, but it was it was so much fun. It was so lovely working together, and I'm excited for more tours and more just more comedy. It's all back. It's all back.
Good.
It's so good.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been great having you. That has been Adults Only Comedy Berlin, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.